Be motherfucking y'all. Good morning, people. How's everybody doing? It's your neighborhood Jesus, freshly waking up, however the fuck you say it. So, shit's coming together, y'all. Let's wait for some people to get in here, and we'll talk about the fine logistics of shit that's going on. See, we were talking about what we're going to order tomorrow or yesterday. That's what we were talking about. Should I get my race spec shifter cables and then save $100 towards the fuel system, or should I kind of put the race spec shifter cables off and start working on the fuel system? Well, we're definitely working on the fuel system. That's the next thing for sure. But there's some bonus. I told you guys tomorrow from today, Friday, I'm selling the HKS exhaust for $250. That's still going down, but then I sold something yesterday. Forgot to say that. Got $100 for a set of front calipers. So basically, we have 600, like 500, then that 100 from the calipers, because they're Type S calipers. I don't need them, it's just spare shit. So I got 100 for the front calipers, so that's 600. And we're getting 250, so that's gonna be like 850. I mean, feasibly, we're getting there, man. What up, Wayne King? How you doing, man? Huh? The money is coming in, Wing. You have past month and a half, man, fucking, it's been slow as a bitch, dude. I've literally had like $0 to put into the DC5. Sell some crack. Yeah, that'd probably be a pretty good moneymaker, except for the fact that you're selling crack. You got the legality issue, and then you got the fucking crack fiend issue. So you're carrying around crack, and people want it so bad they'll stab you for it or shoot you for it. So yeah, or suck your dick for it. Yeah, those are 3 routes I'm not trying to go. A fellow YouTuber, Demossy, he messaged me on Instagram, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta hop on this boat, man. There, a bunch of people are making these building my car in 15 minutes videos." He's like, "They're blowing up, dude." And I was looking at them, and I've seen a couple people I know, like Stephen Acasio or Phil S2K and stuff like that. I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, it's gonna reel in like 250,000 views or whatever, 100,000 views or whatever happens, right? If you tag it right and people get exposed and they're typing in like building my car in 15 minutes and it pops up. I don't know if that's the kind of traffic I want to bring to the channel. Like, yeah, I'm all for getting subscribers and views and stuff like that. That's sick. But at the same time, like, it's going to completely erase the tight-knit community to a degree. Like, y'all will still be here, but it's going to be overwhelmingly flooded with just like random Joe Schmo that doesn't give a fuck about the DC5 community. You know what I mean? Or the Honda scene or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I don't know if I want that kind of a random exposure. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I might do it. I might not, honestly. I might put it on the fence. What do you think, Wing? What do you think about that? I mean, exposure is good to a degree, like good publicity, bad publicity, I guess. But like, I don't know, man. Like when I go to my videos, like it might only have like, a couple hundred views or whatever the fuck or 1,000 views or whatever it has. But it's like, I know every motherfucker in the comments like pretty well. You know what I mean? So it feels like a friendship or like tight-knit community, as opposed to like I was reading Phil S2K's videos comments, and like everybody was just like talking shit on him. Like, dude, get rid of that ridiculous spoiler. That shit looks trash. It's like, dude, it's a Jay's Racing Wing, like on an S2000. That shit looks fire. Fuck y'all. Or like, it's like a time, like not a time lapse, but it's like a progression. So like Phil S2K went through like 6 sets of wheels before he found the right wheels, which is pretty excessive, but if it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. I get all that. And if it's your money, do what you want. But that was like one of the other comments. Everybody's just like, dude, let me get some of those wheels since you have like 7 sets of them. It's like, fucking hate the internet. Internet's a fucking cesspool. But you're right. I probably should do it because we're at like 400 subs right now. And we need. Wayne King says, I'm thinking about trading the SI for a Veloster. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, again, your car, your fucking thing. I've seen a few of those Veloster turbos. I've seen one haul straight ass across an intersection, across a 4-way intersection. And you know how like some intersections, like if you go across it really fast, like you'll get hang time, like a little bit. This motherfucker was going like 80 and a 45 across an intersection and literally got like maybe that much off the ground. I was just sitting there waiting to take my right turn. I see this, boom. I was like, what the fuck was that? So they're not, I wouldn't say it's like a bad car necessarily. I just never really been a Hyundai fan. Hyundai, however you want to say it. Wayne King says, you think I should keep the SI? I mean, honestly, like to be completely honest, I'm really not that huge of a fan of the 10th gen Civics, whether it's the SI, the 1.5T, whatever, or the Type R. Like it takes away like the enthusiasm or the spirit of building a car. It's already like a fucking brand new car. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, imagine like taking like a shitbox DA Integra. It was in a junkyard. It's a piece of shit. Then you gotta completely repaint everything. You've gotta put in a new engine, new interior, new everything. It's like a whole thing. The car looked like a fucking death trap and a fucking nightmare. Then you like completely, fully restore the car, as opposed to like with a 10th gen Civic, it already came with brand new interiors. So there's no real like interior customization other than like doing like the FK8 Type R steering wheel or maybe like a shift knob or Flash Pro and a couple things like that. You know what I mean? And like you can't swap in a new motor into it. You know what I mean? Like let's say you wanted to put like something, I don't know, something crazy in it. Only other motors you can swap into it are like FK8 motors. But that's just my personal opinion. Everybody's got a different build mentality or like, curriculum, whatever the hell you want to call it. Something I was talking with
I don't know how to respond to that.
Bitch, I'm not even talking to you. I'm so tired of hearing you fucking shut up. Shut the fuck up. Hey, can you shut the fuck up? Yeah, thanks. Creep bitch. See, my fucking phone, you used to have to hold down the button. Like, you have to be like, watch. You have to hold the button. Hey, Siri.
I'm here.
Turn yourself off forever.
You can turn me off in settings.
Do that.
Interesting question. Shades.
Has your pussy ever been licked by a neighborhood Jesus?
I don't know how to respond to that.
No. Yeah, I bet you don't.
I figured as much.
Goodbye, bitch.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Turn yourself off, motherfucker.
That's not nice.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, I have it turned off on settings. That's the fucked up part. Man, I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what the hell to say. Siri and search. Oh, okay, here we go. Turn off, listen for Hey Siri. Press home for Siri. Turn off Siri. There we go. Oh my God. Winner. Oh, now I remember what I was saying. So I talked to Broke Dad this morning. I had a question for him about the Veilside exhaust. Apparently, if I go back to my stock B pipe, which is the exact same size as the HKS B pipe, I will fucking be able to bolt up and not have any issues. So I'm hoping that'll work. I might try that maybe. I might try that tomorrow while I'm waiting for dude to come buy the HKS exhaust. Hey Siri. See, look. Hey, look at that. See, it says turn Siri on. Got that bitch locked down. Murdered out windows, 2 exits. That's right. It will not work. Oh, it works now. It's good to go. I'm so tired of hearing that shit every time I'm like, have my phone in my pocket. And if like the button is up against your pants and you say K series, talking about, K20s, that shit will literally be like, yeah, hey, what? I couldn't find anything about K series. It's like, back up, bitch. I really wish we could go back to the good old days of like no smartphones. Wing King says now the CIA can hear you. Oh, well, they listen to it all the time. I mean, it's the same thing with Comcast with that voice remote and shit, or Alexa, or any of that bullshit. It's always, dude, it's always listening to you, which is the creep shit. Same thing with webcams. Like, if you look at well, you can't see it because the webcam obviously is facing this way, but when my webcam is on, it has 2 lights on the side. But let's say when I end the stream, the lights will go off because I'm not streaming. The webcam's always on. I mean, they can turn on the webcam without turning on the lights. So you think your webcam's off, but it's always on. Yeah, true story. That's some fuck shit. But yeah, as far as I can tell, talking to Brooke, that he seems to be doing pretty well. I was like, how's life going, dude? He was like, life's doing great. Chilling with the fam, enjoying fam time and shit like that. Then I was asking about the Veilside, and I was like, did you have any issues? Like, you just use a stock B pipe and it bolted right up? He's like, yeah, it fit perfect. So we'll see. We shall see. Because, like, Lane King says, yep, I've turned on a few cams. That's fucking straight creep mode. Why? The fuck? Is he rich dad now? Well, probably, seeing as, he sold the DC2 Type R and he doesn't have a car to build anymore. So it's probably middle class dad now. Who knows what? You know what's fucked up? I thought about this. So he sold the car, right? And like, obviously I didn't have the money. Like, I didn't have that money. No 14 or 15 grand or whatever he was asking. But then this past weekend, did I tell you, Wing, my fucking mom went to go gambling at the casino down by the racetrack. It's a new casino. She was playing a quarter slot machine. She went in there with $100. She came out with 17 grand. 17 grand, dude. That's insane. So, like, imagine if that would have happened a couple months before. Like, I would have totally been like, yo, let me borrow 12 grand. I'll pay you back for the rest of my life. Nah, she probably wouldn't have done that, honestly. She'd have been like, no, not doing that. Wayne King says, for work. Wayne King says, for work. Oh, that's right, because yeah. That makes sense now. Yeah, that's definitely a wow moment, dude. She was literally like about to faint. I don't blame her. But yeah, these like, if you type in build my car in 15 minutes, I mean, there's like almost like all of them have like multiple thousand views. Like Stephen Acacia's was put up a week ago. Shit has almost 150,000 views. Some guy named TJ Snoop building a WRX in 15 minutes was put up 2 weeks ago. It's only got like 20,000. Phil S2K put his a month ago. It's got over 200,000 views. Obviously, old TJ Hunt, his is going to have like the most. That shit was put up 4 months ago. It almost has 500,000 views. But I mean, literally all these ones put up have some serious fucking views. Like this dude put one of these videos up a year ago. It says trash to neck breaker in 6 minutes. It's a 240 Fairlady Z from Team Boosted channel. They put it up a year ago. It's almost got 1.5 million views. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of them, honestly. Yeah, same thing. That dude in blue, he put one up a year ago. It's almost got 1 million views. I don't know, man. I just don't know if that's the kind of route I want to go with the channel. It's basically clickbait. Like I'm all for getting views, but I want them to be like credible views, not just like, because like that's the thing, man. If people are like trying to fucking watch the build, I don't want them to watch it in 15 minutes and not watch any more videos. Like I want them to watch all the shit, you know? Let's see what this pedal. Chase Bliss Audio came out with some new pedal.
Something effects. We got Chase Bliss Mood.
And it cost $500.
He hit us up, wanted us to like rock some of our video expertise on his newest release. He heard that we liked granular delay. Granular delay, we do. We've been known to fuck with some granular delay. You know what he also knows? He also knows we do like pitching shit around. I think he does. And I think he knows that we like to like stretch with fucking time. This does a whole lot of stretching and fucking with time. Yes. You know, I have never had a Chase Bliss moment. No, first one sent to Nick. And I gotta say, if you've never played one of these before, it can be a little overwhelming. You've had years experience with them. You've kind of figured it out. But yeah, so this was like a challenge for me, a fun challenge, and it was very rewarding once you understand its format, the way things work. Yes. So speaking of format, so I did a video for the previous pedal, which was the Dark Matter pedal, and I had my friend Mason tell me about how to kind of break it down and look at it easily. So kind of have it like this. This is this side of the pedal. This is this side of the pedal. This turns on this side of the pedal. This turns on this side of the pedal. This is your control panel for this side. This is your control panel for this side. And these two are affected by what you throw in from these two. So for this and basic. The last one, I don't think every Chase Bliss pedal is like that. Right. Just these two. Right. It's so simple to understand. Correct. And then this middle dude is you get two presets here, one on the left, one on the right. This toggle switch here, three-way toggle switch, is your control panel selection for this. And by
Dude, pedals are getting like so
other than
nerdy.
that, oh, and then the middle one is for direction of how we're going to discuss that later. Go ahead.
Like
Other
the
than that,
fucking parameters, I swear.
Chaos on the back. So, I think one day, because this just stresses me out, and I did learn it a little bit. I did get some stuff figured out, and it was funny because I had to like YouTube. By the way, I hate going on YouTube, and I don't like pedal YouTube. I don't like it. I like to just get a pedal and mess with it and figure it out, right?
Definitely.
That's my vibe. It's almost like if you work at McDonald's, you don't want to eat at McDonald's. You're like, I'm fucking over McDonald's. I don't want to work. I don't want to eat burgers. So, like, when we're at home, we're not trying to watch other pedal videos on YouTube. But I have to admit, I did go and look up some of the stuff on how to figure this out. And I think in the future, we should do like a demystifying the dip switches on Chase Bliss.
Right.
Because I just think there has to be more people like me or maybe like you that just see this and go, oh, that's freaky. There's fucking an extra zillion switches on the back of this pedal to figure out. It's a little, that's what I mean by overwhelming. So like, you know about Chase Bliss, and like you said, you know some of the format and how it works. I didn't know any of that. So this is kind of a fun pedal for us to both, you know, check out and try. But in the future, I'm excited to like grab shit off that shelf over there and figure it out. And also, like I said, maybe get into this business.
Right.
So, but this is a really fun thing. And, you know, obviously there's like 6,000 people that are annoyed that we haven't started playing it yet, but someone probably has already left a comment with a timestamp about where the playing starts, which is cool. But that could probably be right about now.
Well, let me just follow up with a little. So yes, Nick, you're right. So like, if you work at McDonald's, you want to eat at McDonald's. You know, the other thing I find is that when I go to YouTube, I'll start watching a YouTube because I go, yeah, I need to know how to do this, but I'm missing something else. And I watch somebody else's and I'm like, why is that dude playing this shitty ass lick through there? And then I start critiquing him and I already forget that I'm trying to learn and I'm already frustrated. So that's the whole deal with me. It's like I'm already such a critical dick anyway. So it's hard for me to get any kind of real fluid information.
At least he knows it.
From a YouTube, unless it's some dude like Nick. And so that's why Nick works with me on Pedals and Effects. So there's our spiel. Here we go. Get in the mood for mood.
There's a little bit of playing for you. Sorry, we misled you to think that there was going to be playing right now, but there's a little more talking. So stop crying. Whoops. All right, so jumping into this pedal, the first important thing about it is that the Mood pedal by Chase Bliss is actually a collaboration between Chase Bliss, Old Blood Noise, which is the little droppy drop, which is this side of the pedal, Three Sounds collabo between Old Blood Noise and Chase Bliss. This side of the pedal is a whole other collaboration between Chase Bliss and Drolo, which we're new to Drolo. It's an entity from Belgium. This is what we know about Drolo. Josh Klinghoffer texted us a link to the Stretch Weaver. And I've heard a few people talking about this pedal called the Stretch Weaver, and it's inspired by Nils Klein and Scott Amendola, this record they put out, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, that's a dude that I've heard of. And now we need to know. We've got to know, I guess. But well, this is our introduction to Drolo. So so Old Blood Noise crew helped out with 3 different sounds on this side, and then Drolo helped out with 3 different sounds on this side. And this little guy in the middle can determine the direction of what is getting processed by the Old Blood Noise section. Like you can process this, or you can process just the input, or you can do both. There's a very, very, very deep pedal, and I reckon this is going to be a 20-minute video or something, and that's just scratching the surface. So have fun.
It's actually a 43-minute video.
So starting with the Old Blood Noise side, you got your reverb. Now, I think this is going to be a familiar sound here. Once we just turn this on, dial this in. Let's go. Not very reverby.
It's like delay.
Because we need to smear it. And if you you recall, this kind of like choppy delay sound mixed with smearing, that's a little bit of the old Afterneath by our friends at Earthquaker Devices. If you remember, that was the first pedal that I was aware of, where you took a bunch of little kind of choppy delay samples and you smeared them together. So right now, this knob that says modify when you're in the reverb section is going to do some smearing. Now, when you change the different settings per side of this pedal, these knobs will do different things. So there's a lot of memory and kind of note taking to do. But for right now, this kind of like sets the amount. Like maybe it's, well, let's see. Right now, there should be no delay jiggles, right? You gotta bring them in.
That pedal sounds pretty
Now,
badass.
When you smear them together, you know what I'm saying?
That's
So-
when suspension happens.
Yeah.
That's some crazy
and
shit.
Okay, this little knob is a global control for a bunch of shit that happens in this pedal. It kind of works as a sample rate thing, as an amount of delay, but not really delay, more of phrase sampling, maybe looping. I guess it's looping when we'll get into the Drolo side, which we'll go over. But this basically does a bunch of stuff, and it's,
Man, that is straight. I wouldn't say it's beyond my pay grade, but it's like for that much fucking dialing in and like, for the lack of a better word, bullshit, filler, like, fuck that pedal. I'll just take 2 delay pedals and make that sound. That's what I'll do. Well, I'm waiting for some of you guys to get in here, man. I think these AM fucking streams, I don't think they're helping me. It's fucking 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 7:21 for some of y'all. That's crazy. All right, so we got all right, let's go. New folder. Frank Zappa. Jesus. Good God, dude. They were not kidding around when they said this is the whole fucking discography. So just like take all that. We're gonna copy that. Jesus, how is it copying that quick? What the fuck? Holy shit, dude. Dude, it just copied like fucking 88 albums in like less than 10 seconds. What the fuck? Are these like super baby files or like, are they not even real or something? No, these bitches are all here. They're MP3 files. What the fuck? I'm blown away. That's pretty awesome. I don't know why I copied it that fast, but that's badass. We got compilations. Let's say compilations. Copy 7 items. Paste. This bitch are copying like fucking wildfire, dude. We got bonus. What is bonus? Paste. Shit copies fast as fuck. Let's put this in compilations. We're gonna put this here bonus. Then we're gonna drag this in here. See, that makes more sense. I think it copied a copy of it basically from my computer where it already existed, so it wasn't hard to copy a copy. Because I'm transferring to my thumb drive for my my USB stick for the car, where I have all my music saved on thumb drive to the Pioneer Double DIN. So now it says that 22 gigabytes is going to take 20 minutes, which is not that bad. Not too bad.
Described as a clock, right? I mean, this is a delay pedal. It's a granular delay pedal. And delay deals with an internal clock, but this gets a little bit out of my comfort zone in terms of discussing it and understanding it. So me, I just like to figure out what it does to the sound versus understanding how it works. Sometimes we want to know how it works.
Right, totally. But I was going to say also, like, sometimes it's better for us to understand it just via sound and not theoretically. And I think what we're doing is like, we're listening to it and we go, okay, we know what that does. So then articulating that is a completely different thing. And that's for the hella nerds that love to discuss that kind of stuff. But I think we're on the right track. We're hearing the difference. And I think that's a better explanation than us trying to describe it for you.
And then what you can do too is you can almost, figure out what the sound is to you, and then you can reference a manual or a PDF or whatever. Okay, so that what I'm hearing, this is how it's interpreted by the person that built that. So that's a smart thing to do. Now, sometimes there's there's crossover from manufacturer to manufacturer, but sometimes it gets a little tricky. So I just think with our vibe, it's mostly important to just, what is the function of this knob do to the sound? Figure that out on your own, and then, apply that language to the rest of the world. So anyways, you're going to hear us reference this clock knob a couple times, and it might be inconsistent.
Because you're going to leave a comment like, but wait, that's pitch shifting. And we're going to go, okay, well, there's a reason why it's doing that pitch shifting, and we're going to tell you why.
Yes, so there you go. So anyways, back to just the first setting, reverb. Mix. Easy enough, right? Nothing too.
I mean, it sounds good, but for $400 or however much it costs, fuck that.
On the old blood side. Delay. What this reminds me of is the very first delay looper pedal I ever played on, which I don't know if we did a video on here. I think I did one on Reverb or something, called the DoD DFX 9, which is essentially just a digital delay pedal, but you can do funny pitch shifty stuff with it. But right now, this is when you're in delay mode, this is your time and this is feedback. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to set the time at max and the feedback at infinite. So right now I should play a chord and it should just go wah, wah, right? Okay. So that's saved, right? Because I just got the mix down. So now, let's go back to this clock knob and show you some of the funny stuff it does. I'm going to leave it at infinite feedback, so it's just stuck in the feedback or the the delay. We'll fuck with this clock knob.
It sounds like a Digitech PDS 2020
so
multiplay.
We determined that it's going up a fourth interval to a fifth
to a boring. I gotta get 19 minutes in.
So of course I can be doing that with an expression pedal, but I'm just showing you this, clock knob and how it's grabbing the notes and it's modulating them via the pitch shifting element that we're talking about on this side.
I also did this really cool thing where I plugged the light in when it was like super dramatic and moody. Oh, it's cool.
That success. All right, delay section.
Dude, sometimes I wonder how much like pedal people pay them to, they send them those pedals, like a $400 or $500 pedal, and they send them 2 of them for free just to plug their pedal on their channel. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't, for the money it costs, it doesn't sound that great. It's like, yeah, it sounds like a nice delay pedal, but for that kind of money, it should do some really cool shit. And it doesn't. Sounds like a reverb delay pedal with a, like you said, a global time clock, a granular delay. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. See, I like pedals that, I don't even know how to describe it. I like a pedal that I don't have to like go to the fucking moon programming, Like I think the most complicated thing I have on my board is probably either the Montreal Assembly Count to 5 looper or the Paradox flanger. Those are like the two most like, I mean, I wouldn't even call the Paradox a complicated pedal. It just has a lot of parameters and features, and you could get like a lot of different sounds from it. But definitely the Count to 5 looper is pretty extensive. Like once you get the hang of it, you can grasp it, but like I haven't played with it in like a hot minute. So I'm like, I just have it dialed in, set up. So like if I were to like go through it and, kind of use it all over again and try to find a new sound, like finding my old sound would probably be pretty daunting. I'd say the other most complicated piece of gear in this room is definitely the Moog. Programming the Moog is it's not exactly easy. I mean, it's got a user manual and shit like that. It comes with like a whole book. But I mean, to do to do a program on it, like to program notes into the onboard sequencer and not just play it for the soundboard, like, you know, taking a MIDI keyboard and playing into it and just like crafting and sculpting sounds. That part's super easy. You just have to know synthesis. But I'm saying like programming a sequence into the sequencer and like all that shit is kind of daunting because there's a lot you can do with it. Like a lot. A lot. Let's see what this guy's got going on. K24 piston install.
And welcome back to part 2. Starting where we left off, we're going to be installing these lock rings for the pins. Now these things can be a little bit of pain in the butt to try to get in, but once you've done them a few times, it becomes really easy. First thing you want to do is start with one side, obviously, and get it in the groove, and then use a small pocket screwdriver just like this one. And right about the center of the ring is where you want to pry and try to, get underneath that lip and just kind of push it over for it to pop in. You can see there's a few scratches on the piston, and you're not going to really avoid that. Trust me, there's no way around it. I try to be as careful as I can, and it just isn't going to happen. Those scratches on the pistons aren't going to make the slightest difference at all, so really don't worry about it. Now we can grab some assembly lube and put it on the pin and just get it nice and moist. Okay, moist is probably not the best words to use for this. You get what I'm trying to say. So we're also going to put a little bit of assembly lube inside of the bore of where the pin is going to go. Really, you almost cannot have enough lube when it comes down to this job. Now I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Make sure you only put one of the lock rings on, because if you put both of them on and you haven't put the connector rod and the pin in, you're going to be taking one of those lock rings back out again. And the only thing that sucks more than putting in those lock rings is having to take them out. Here I'm checking a piston to see which side has the intake valves on it. And the reason for that is if you look at the connecting rod, on the inside, only one side has the grooves for the tangs of the bearings. The other side's completely flat. So what I want to do is keep everything consistent, meaning on all pistons, I want to have those pins on the connecting rod facing towards the intake valve. The next step is pretty easy. All you have to do is line up your connecting rod and push the pin in. You should not have to force it or anything. It should slide in pretty smooth. And next we can go ahead and put the lock ring on.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Now you can check the assembly. It should move very freely. As you can see, it moves under its own weight. Here I am just pointing out what I mentioned earlier. The tangs on the connecting rod are lining up with the intake valve side of the piston. Here I am taking the fasteners off of the connecting rod, but don't let this video fool you. These things are on here so tight I could not take them off by hand. I had to go get my impact gun just to get them off.
It's crazy to think like the connecting rod, like, you know, the circle part at the bottom that connects to the crank. Like he said, he had to use an impact gun to get those off, but then like the only thing holding the piston to the top of the rod through like the guide pin or whatever is this little metal lock ring. It doesn't look like it's strong at all. I guess it is, but like,
I should just really stop saying the word moist.
but yeah, it's crazy. Like that's the only precaution they take on keeping the piston from the top of the rod. Is literally one little lock ring.
Now it's time to clock the rings on the pistons. Here's a little diagram on how they have to be clocked. So you can go ahead and pause the video right there if you want to review that. I'm not going to be showing it in this video because it's such a meticulous procedure that really it's almost impossible to record. If you've done this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now it's time to install the bearings, and as you can see, it's almost impossible to mess up. You just line up the two areas where the tank goes, and again, no assembly lube between the connecting rod and the bearing. You want to put that on completely dry. Now I will admit that right here I had a bit of a brain fart. I'm trying to install the piston, but right in front of my face, one of the rings is sticking out, and it's actually hitting the tool, preventing the piston from going down. So, I'm here trying to get it to go in. I'm pushing it and it won't go. And it just took me longer than it should have to notice that the ring was sticking out. The good news is I wasn't using any tools or anything like that. I'm not here bashing on the top of the piston head or anything like that. I'm just using my hands. So no harm at all was done to the piston ring. At this point, you want to make sure you're not installing the piston backwards, meaning the reliefs for the intake and the exhaust valves are facing the correct direction. So in my case, the intake valves are going to be on the right side. As you can see, for the first piston, I decided to use the method of just trying to push it in with my hands. And honestly, it put up way more of a fight than I wanted it to. So for the other three pistons, I used the method that everyone else uses, which is basically using a handle of a hammer, whether it's rubberized or made out of wood. Just go ahead and tap on the top of the piston. Now you don't want to go crazy with it. You don't want to break any of the piston rings, but just keep giving it light taps, and it goes in so much easier. So I would recommend using that method instead of trying to push it in with your hands. And once again, I'm cleaning the crank using coffee filters and brake parts cleaner. Just want to get any dust that may have landed on there and get that out of the way. Now you want to line up the connecting rod as it's coming towards the crank. You don't want it to hit and possibly scratch your crank. So that's why I had the pen right there. I'm just pushing the pen into where the bolt goes on the connecting rod, just so I could guide it up as it falls into place. Now that this is settled, we can move on to installing the bearing on the cap of the connecting rod. Like I said last time, it's going to go on 100% dry, so make sure there is no lube underneath this bearing. And all you have to do is line up the two tanks and it's all set. Now in the last video, how we used plastic gauge to measure the clearances of the crank, we're going to go ahead and use that same exact procedure here, but it's to measure the clearances on the connecting rod. Now, before we go any further, we have to be able to identify which bolt came with our connecting rod so we get the correct torque specs. So here's a chart that was supplied with the connecting rods, and we are going to go through each and every one of these to try to figure out which ones we have. Now, so as far as the material of the bolt, it's right here stamped on the head, so that's the easy one. And for the UHL, all you have to do is take the overall length of the bolt and then subtract the length of the head. So we got 1.998. We're going to subtract the 0.394, which leaves us with 1.6, which is close enough to the 1.6 up there listed. And the bolt diameter, we're going to go ahead and measure where the threads are. 3/8 is equal to 0.375, and we got 0.372, which is close enough. So that leaves us with the torque specs for our fasteners are 45 to 50 pound-feet. Now, while tightening these fasteners, if you went directly to 50 pound-feet, that's like passing go and going directly to jail. You don't want that. You want to do this in increments. So we're going to start off at 20 pound-feet, go up to 30 pound-feet, and ultimately finish at 50 pound-feet. Now, I should not have to mention this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You want to make sure your crank does not rotate while you're doing this, because don't forget you still have the plastic gauge in there. You don't want to disturb it. So now you can go ahead and remove the fasteners. Here I am removing the cap off the connector rod, and I made it look easy, but it's actually quite difficult to get it off because it tends to get stuck on there. But there is an easy method for removing it, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. Here's the clearances for the connector rods that I got out of the manual that I have. And as you can see, I'm kind of dead smack in the center here. So as far as clearances on this engine, everything's going great, and I'm really satisfied with the way this engine is turning out overall. To me, it's looking real good, and I like to picture the engine in the tuxedo t-shirt because it says I want to be formal, but I'm here to party. Now that we have our measurements, we can go ahead and remove the plastic gauge, and I'm just using, again, my coffee filters and brake parts cleaner to clean everything. Here I'm just pushing the piston into the bore so the connecting rod can kind of fall off to the side. And now that everything's cleaned up, I can apply some assembly lube to the crank and even some to the bearing that's still attached to the connecting rod.
Man, building a fucking K24 would be quite the project. Like putting it together is not, let's see, I don't know how to describe it. Putting it together, like textbook putting it together, is not that bad. But there's so many fucking precautions, man. Like shit you got to do and look out for that's literally just like fine details. Like, oh, you got to check the clearances with plastic gauge. Oh, you got to block off this oil squirter. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. It's like, if it was literally just like, oh, put in the pistons, make sure you torque them right. Put on the head, make sure you adjust the valve lash, you know, like do a bunch of like, you know, simple but, you know, task type shit. Like there's so many fine details to doing it right, basically.
Caps can only go on one way because the two tangs on the bearings have to match up. And once again, we're going to go ahead and follow the same torque sequence as we did the first time. Okay, so as far as removing the cap off of the connecting rods, all you have to do is remove both of the bolts and pull it out just far enough until the threads are catching. And then get a soft hammer and just kind of tap sideways on it. And you can see how it creates a gap between the cap and the connector rod. And then you can just grab both ends with the bolts, kind of applying inward pressure, just kind of wiggle it loose. Okay, so here's the aftermath of me rotating the engine by hand just a few times. As you can see, there's a scratch here. It's not deep enough for me to catch with my fingernail, but I can see it and it's bothering me enough to the point where I pulled out all 4 pistons because it was happening in all 4 cylinders. And guess what? It turned out to be the compression ring on all 4 cylinders. Now, how do I know it was this ring? Well, because when you cock your rings, the first and second ring have their gaps opposite of each other. And the side of the wall that was getting the scratch on is the side that the compression ring had its gap on. So what's happening here are these corners are so sharp that they're cutting into the walls. So all I have here is my file, and I want to create just a very, very slight bevel just to get rid of this sharp edge. It's even on the edge that I didn't even touch, the one I didn't even grind. So on both sides, I'm just knocking that edge off. Remember, you're not trying to change the gap of the ring or anything like that. I'm just trying to get rid of this very sharp edge. And once I was done doing that to all 4 cylinders, I put everything back together. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I know I fixed my problem? Well, here's what I did. When I put everything back together, I switched them around. So now I put the compression ring facing the other direction and the second ring facing to the right. And what this does is, when I assembled everything again, if I still had a problem with that compression ring scratching the bores, now I would have more scratches on the opposite side. So here is everything put back together. And I've already rotated by hand quite a few times by now before I started recording. And as you can see, no more scratches. That little piece you see in the center right there, that's just oil being dragged down. The point of all of this is if you see something wrong, take care of it right now before it gets a lot worse. And that's it for this one. If you want to stay up to date on this project, just make sure you hit that subscribe button. I think the next video is going to be on installing the 4-piston oil pump, so that should be fun opening that bad boy up. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's where I post all my updates. Consider subscribing, and like always, thanks for watching.
Where the fuck is everybody? Dude, I can't believe nobody's been in here for shit, probably 30 minutes. That's crazy. K24 4-piston oil pump install. I understand why people have the loudest fucking music. And you turn it down, their fucking audio for their voice is too fucking low. Go to audio school, y'all. Goddamn. Quit Quit doing fuck time lapse.
Here I have the 4-piston ported oil pump, and sure, you don't need this. Can be overkill for some people, but to me, it's just more peace of mind. So I opted for the more expensive version, which is basically you get the entire kit. Now this is an OEM baffle straight from Honda, and you can see the stampings are kind of rough around the edges. So I'm using my flathead screwdriver here to try to remove some of that. I also need a file, yet I don't have one, so I'm gonna have to raid my daughter's stash just one more time. Now that I've completed Mission Impossible without getting caught, it's time to engage Spirit Fingers. I'm trying to get this baffle to look a little bit better.
This dude seems like he knows his shit, but I don't like his channel. So stupid. Like every like interlude between a fucking scene is like just the tip. That's what she said. Okay, I'm done. I can do without all that, you know what I'm saying? Some stupid shit. Oh, I think I heard my flash drive's done. Ooh. What the fuck? Just go in. Hello? Work? What the fuck? Why is this thing trying to get smacked? Dude, what in the fuck is this? Oh. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. So I can take that. Throw that in the motherfucking trash. Motherfucker, I will smack you. Thank you. Finally, dude. Jesus. Yeah, just do that. Fine. And this one to this one. Why is this shit being so bunk, dude? You should be able to just drag it into another folder, man. What the fuck happened to fucking ease? Fucking piss at you in a second. Thank you. Jesus. That was way too hard, man. Seriously. That shit was getting on my nerves. All right, I think we're good. He checked. Maybe. There's that. Now we got that Zappa on our motherfucking on our fucking thumbstick. Whole discography. God. Man, I wish today was Friday. I'm trying to get that other 250. Dude, we're only after Friday, we're gonna have $150 shy of a G. I think I might throw some more shit up on eBay. There's a couple items that I think will sell pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Yo, come here, yo. Come here, yo. 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 Check this out. Yo. Check this out. Check this out, yo. Check this out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you show that work really hard on, okay? Work really hard on this. Well, check this out. That's the style of kicking in Brooklyn, yo. This is gonna be the bomb up here in like 6 months. You want to see an impression of Marilyn Monroe covered in skin cream?
Would it make you happy?
Check this out. So you want to see me rub my face all over the ground and shit? And get dirt all over it? Check this out.
Don't make her.
Out here is police officer smell for cop.
This motherfucker. Oh shit, we got somebody back on the head counter after like 30 minutes of nobody. That's what you get for AM streams. Who we got? Let's get some motherfucking music in here. On Demand VTech. Veloster in? Goddamn, you must be smoking that crack. Ah! Yeah, honestly, I was kind of wondering the same thing. I was like, going from a Honda to a Hyundai. I don't approve. How you doing, Honda man? Dude, what fucking time's in Norway right now? Oh, okay, that makes more sense. It's like 5 p.m. for you. It's fucking 11 a.m. here. It would be 8 a.m. in California on the West Coast. So, yeah, not many people rolling through this bitch. But as the streams, the title says, the money's coming in, dog. I got the 500 I already had. We got the 250 that I'll sell the HKS exhaust, and we'll get that tomorrow. So that's 750. But then I sold a pair of front calibers yesterday for $100. So that's $850. So we're $150 shy of a G. Did you buy that fuel stuff? Well, that's the thing. Like I was just gonna order it like as much as I could, yesterday. And I was like, wait, see if I can sell a couple things and get some more money built up. So like, and not to mention it's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday. So I'm probably gonna wait until I'm gonna see how much money I can get until Monday. I'll order it like on Sunday or Monday and get shit going. Cause then basically if I order it on Friday, it's the order's gonna sit there because like Saturday and Sunday there's no real movement on orders. That way if I order it like on a Sunday or a Monday, I can get like 2 day shipping and get it quicker. Like, it'll be here like, Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to grind out and try to sell as much as I can so I can get like a grand built up. Because then essentially, if I get a grand built up, I can probably just order that dual pump hanger. The one I wasn't gonna order because it's like pretty expensive. It's like $400, $450. But that would just make me feel a lot better about the setup, knowing that we have a CNC aluminum, fuel pump cage that's like legit as fuck, as opposed to having to play with the plastic one that might break and you got to delete the original fucking fuel pressure regulator that's in the tank and all that shit. And it's just going to make it a lot more of a process. You know what I mean? And another thing too is if I do the if I get enough money, like let's say I get like a grand or even like $1,200, $1,300, I can order the ethanol content sensor too. That's like, I think it's like $300 or $400 too. Oh fuck, man. It's 400. No, it's 300. It's 299. Yeah, this is the one I'm ordering. It's from K-Mod Performance. It's $300. K-Pro E85 Flex Fuel Kit. It says with this kit, you can run your car on pump gas or E85, whichever is available. No more having to drain your tank and switch between a pump gas tune and a E85 race gas tune. Just fill your tank with gas, either pump gas, E85, or a mixture of both, and drive. The ECU will automatically make the proper adjustments. See, okay, this is weird. Cam was saying to set up the E85, I have to get tuned one way or the other and then mix the two together. He's saying that's not, possible. That's not, he's saying that it wasn't possible. I have to get tuned. But this guy's saying, no more having to drain your tank and switch between a pump gas tune and the E85 tune. Just fill your tank with gas, either pump gas, E85, or a mixture of both, and drive. The ECU will automatically make the proper adjustments. Great for you streetcar guys. It says not a plug and play, must be wired into an analog input on the K-Pro, requires tuning to work properly. Well, I get all that. Like, I think when he says it requires tuning, I think he just means the wiring on the flex fuel sensor needs to be in the analog input of K-Pro, and they need to like calibrate it. Basically, that's probably what he means, I would think. But we'll see. I don't know. I have to talk to. I almost want to call them up right now and just be like, "Yo, Playboy, tell me about this flex fuel kit." Let's see what he says. Let's see, where's their phone number? Keypad.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 732-895-7419 is not
It's
available.
not the number I dialed.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Fucking unprofessional as shit. Bro, it's not even the number I dialed. It says, they said some 712 number. I dialed 517-7419. The fuck? What the fuck? I've called them before, so I know that number is right. That shit don't make no sense about us. There's only one number. Yeah, it must be forwarding it to, like, that number must be forwarding to his cell phone or some shit. I don't know. We got some people on the head counter. Who's here? We're trying to figure out about flex fuel sensors and tuning. I'm gonna text this guy, see if I can text him. What's his name? His name's Marquise, I think. Yeah, Marquise. Yeah, I've totally fucking texted him before. Hana Man says, yeah, bro, I'm eating dinner. That's why I'm ghosting right now. Oh, yeah, no, I know you're still here. There's 3 on the head counter, though. I was wondering who else was here. Let's see this man's number. Info. How do I save his info? What the fuck? Create new contact. Go booyah. Wait to hear back from him. Fucking yeah, I would imagine it, if it adjusts accordingly, you should just have to like enable. See See, I wish my laptop was charged. I could boot that bitch up real quick and just look at the ethanol content. Or we could just go to K-Pro. Honda K-Pro. So let's see what the 224. Where's the fucking software? Manuals and forms, maybe. K manager help. Contents. Tuning your vehicle, maybe. Troubleshooting. Data vault. Installation. Man, this shit don't help none. They don't got shit in here. Commands. Live tuning. Dude, they don't say shit on here, man. Ethanol. It's like a forum or something, dude. Fuck me. Honda support sucks. I hate to say it, but seriously. It's pretty bad. E85. You can be tuned on E85 without a flex fuel sensor. How do you have the flex fuel sensor wired? I have the white wire on the supplementary pigtail. Ethanol wired to the sensor's output wire. Ground is run to the frame rail. Dude, this shit is ethanol content sensor. Doesn't that help? Hold on, this might help. All right, this guy says, hey guys, my tuner attempted to tune my car for flex fuel this past weekend. This is what we found. Not to mention this was his first time tuning. I'm not on Flash Pro, motherfucker. I'm on K Pro. God damn it. Stupid motherfuckers. Like, dude, this forum is straight trash. How to set up ethanol temp sensor in K Pro V4. Let's see. All right. Digital input. In the U.S., pump gasoline is 10 to 15, 85, 75 to 85% ethanol. Flex Fuel offers the ability to compensate for different fuel ethanol content by using an ethanol content, which is useful when switching from gasoline to ethanol and vice versa, or when the E85 ethanol content is seasonally altered. With the K Pro 4, an ethanol content sensor may be directly connected to the K Pro using the ethanol input. No ethanol content analyzer is needed, as the K Pro 4 converts the signal from the ethanol content sensor directly. Suitable sensors are GM parts, yada yada, yada yada, yada yada. These sensors produce a pulse width modulated output with a variable frequency as well, which ranges from 50 hertz for 0% ethanol to 150 hertz for 100%. Some nerdy shit right there. All right, so we're learning. Take a screenshot of that. Then the ethanol sensor will only read ethanol content correctly with fuel flowing through it. So it should be placed in the return line so that it gets constant flow past the sensor whilst the engine is running. It also means that once the fuel pump stops, the ethanol content will not read correctly. If the ignition is switched on but the engine is not running. Oh, okay. Because of the K-Pro, because of this, the K-Pro does not send ethanol information to the ECU unless the fuel pump is running. The direction of the fuel flow through the sensor is not important. Oh, okay. Well, that's good, I guess. Ethanol content input enabled, so you just check that if you're running it. Smoothing time factor specifies the moving average time factor. A small value will update the ethanol content quickly and respond to changes quickly, whereas a large value will respond slowly. A value of 1,000 results in the ethanol content taking roughly 10 minutes for a full-scale change. A value of 10 will respond to sensor changes almost instantly. What up, Cam? How you doing, man? Yeah, Cam, you were definitely right about the flex fuel sensor being on the return line. That's exactly what Hondata says to do. But what I was reading on K-Mod Performance, where I'm ordering my K-Pro ethanol sensor, he says tuning is required, but I don't think it's tuning like you think. Like, I don't think you need to get tuned on. I don't think you need to get tuned with K-Pro, at least. I don't think you need to get tuned separately on each one, like E85 strictly and, you know, pump gas strictly. You know what I mean? I don't think you have to. I think, like, whatever, if you have pump gas, because think about it, pump gas has 15% ethanol. So the tables in K-Pro, they don't require an ethanol content analyzer. It has that shit like built into it. So it's all off of voltage. So I'm not sure. I'm about to ask my tuner. Ask a tuner. You will need TRI tuning. TRI tuning? What is that? The ethanol content is retained after the vehicle is switched off in order to completely compensate while cranking. If you've changed the ethanol content in the fuel tank, then the ethanol content will update after 10 to 15 seconds of the engine running. Maximum engine speed for update. This setting stops the K-Pro from reading from the ethanol sensor when the engine speed is over a certain value. This is for fuel systems where the ethanol sensor is erratic at high RPMs. Do not make this value below fast idle speed, otherwise the ethanol content will never update correctly. Oh, try tuning, I see. No, I know it, dude. You're missing what I'm saying. I know it still needs to be tuned, but I'm saying, like, the way they're making this sound about the K-Pro, I don't know if it's different with Haltech or whatever, but Dude Man on here says, listen, this is what dude's description says. With this kit, you can run your car on pump gas or E85 or whichever is available. No more having to drain your tank and switch between a pump gas tune and an E85 race gas tune. Just fill your tank with gas, either pump gas, E85, or a mixture of both, and drive. The ECU will automatically make the proper adjustments. Great for you street car guys. Can only be used with K-Pro V4. Not plug and play, must be wired into the analog input on K-Pro. I get all that. Then it says requires tuning to work properly. It doesn't say anything about, like, you know, you're going to need tri-tuning or 3 tunes. You know what I mean? Cam says pump gas tune 85, 50% tune. It won't work itself out without tuning. And I'm about to talk to a tuner because the information's not adding up with that shit, dude. They're saying, like, literally, they're saying it works itself out. You know what I mean? It makes the adjustments on the fly with the smoothing factor or whatever. If I could get in touch with my fucking tuner. Tuning will do it Three-way tune, bro. We'll see, man. That's fucking bullshit. You got to get 3 different. So it's gonna be expensive as fuck getting like 3, getting him to do 3 tunes, man. That's fucking bullshit. Cam says tuner will say what I say. Call them now, dude. The dude doesn't pick up the phone. I'm pretty sure he doesn't pick up the phone or answer emails unless you're depositing for a tune, which is like straight fucking garbage. He's like the Hondata of tuners. Like, oh yeah, we don't care about you. We just want your money. Pay us your money. That's the only way we care about you. Like here, I'll call this guy right now just for fun. I'll call any tuner. Yeah, but I'm not gonna call any tuner because I wanna talk to the person I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? This dude's supposed to be the fucking best. And I'm sure he's damn good, but goddamn. This motherfucker takes his sweet motherfucking time. I mean, I've left this dude like voicemail after voicemail. Never fucking calls back. He's even dropped his prices on Hondas. It used to be $550 for all motor, and it was $750 for forced induction K-Pro Hondas. Now it's $500 for all motor and $550 for boosted cars. That's fucked. I don't know what that's all about. I'm gonna try to call this motherfucker. Said, hey, this is Matt. If you're calling about a tune, send me an email to Matt at shoetuning.net. Hey, I've done that. Fuck. Such bullshit. I almost like want to drive out to his shop and just be like, hey, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Fuck you. Cam says, makes you think he's busy by only answering the phone every 10 calls. No, dude, I've been trying to get in touch with this dude for months. And you go on his fucking Instagram, the motherfucker's tuning cars. It's not like he's not taking work. He's tuning cars for fucking sure. See, Evans tuning coming through clutch.
Next, we're going to see our fuel compensation. And this is going to be based on a closed loop and open loop. And we can see here that we have our percentage ethanol on top. So this is going to be our blender content level. And then on the bottom part, it's going to be the multiplying factor. It's going to actually go ahead we multiply against our main fuel table value here. So whatever we're calculating and getting produced for our injector pulse width, this percentage then will be a percentage multiplier to that injector pulse width. So we can see here that 85% ethanol has about a 42% multiplying factor. That's probably going to be sufficient to start with. Typically, going from pure 93 octane to ethanol blended fuel, we're going to see about a 35% difference in needing to add for fuel just to get back in line to maintain the same stoichiometric ratio. So 42% is a little bit more than we might need, but it's a good starting point because it'll be safe. And we can see that as we go above 85% here, it hasn't been populated up to this 100% level. So if we're going to be running pure E98 in our fuel system, we might have to go ahead and add some values here. We might have to increase this to something like 60 to start getting our fuel back in line. So typically speaking, we're not going to have to change these values if we're just sticking with the 85%. They'll be sufficient. But again, they're a multiplying effect. So they're going to multiply whatever we figure out for our injector pulse width. And we can look here. When we start using these tables, it's going to start multiplying the injector pulse width to increase the fuel flow to make sure that we can get our desired air fuel.
All right, that kind of helps, but not really. On Demand VTech said stupid tuner shops. Cam says I got multiple ways of harassing my tuner: landline, mobile, Facebook. He can't hide from me. See, that's the kind of level I'm trying to get on with this tuner, because he's supposed to be the best, like one of the best, definitely the best in Virginia for Hondas. And he tunes everything, but he's known for tuning Hondas for sure. And this is the kind of shit that just makes me want to drive up to Pennsylvania to go meet Jeff Evans, because I know he knows his shit, you know. And I've talked to Jeff Evans on the phone before. Like he's legit, dude. He's a pretty good guy, you know. You can get him on the phone, and they're busy, dude. They have a fucking, I mean, he's got a performance academy school he's doing for people in person and online. He just started that last year. I mean, he's not like he's not like a million subscribers or something. I mean, he's got a pretty good following. He's got like 20,000, almost 21,000 subs. He's got fucking 150 videos up that are mad helpful. I mean, mad helpful. See, my whole thing is, Cam says, damn, battery died. Well, now you're back. Booyah. But my whole thing is, see, I'm trying to work out the logistics of, see, we need to, obviously we ordered the stuff, all the fuel shit, and get the fuel system, you know, ready to roll. The ethanol content sensor, this is what I don't get. I'm going to hook that up, and I guess I'm not going to turn on E85 enabled in K-Pro because I'm not running E85. So we're going to wire that shit up, but not turn it on and enable it in K-Pro. So then we're going to drive to the tuner and, you know, like I'm just trying to make sure like I have everything hooked up properly so that when I go, everything's like smoothed out. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's what I would do is like I would wire in, you know, put the E85 content sensor in my fuel return, wire it into K-Pro, but not enable it. You know what I'm saying? I guess that would be doable. And then, you know, fucking, I just hope this shit all works out. Because, like, what I was thinking was, oh, there we go. See, K-Mod, Marquise, coming through. Cam says you can enable the sensor. It won't affect tuning, enabling the sensor. But that doesn't make sense. If you enable the sensor, isn't it going to fuck with your fuel tables? Like, I'm trying to, like, how do I drive a car to the tuner to get tuned and the car has a fucking E85 sensor enabled? Like, I don't understand that. Okay, so I just said to him, how does the tuning aspect go with it? Do I need to get tri-tune pump gas / 50% ethanol / E85 for it to compensate accordingly? He said, yeah, that's correct. So you are right about that. Kudos, Cam. See, this dude right here, I might actually go and hit this fool up. He's in North Carolina, which is a hell of a lot shorter of a drive than Pennsylvania. And this dude is K-Mod Performance, Dyno Street and Track Proven, all motor setups, 220 to 380 wheel horsepower. That sounds like a pretty fucking solid guarantee, because like he's saying any all motor Honda, he's gonna make that bitch fucking put out 220, no problems. Where is the tuning? ECU's engine management. Dude, I'm just looking for your tuning. Yeah, this dude tuned a FB6 turbo setup, 650 wheel horsepower, ran a 1077 at 130 miles per hour. That's pretty fucking good. As far as I can tell, he. Oh, wait, hold on. So he doesn't do dyno tuning. He builds engines. So that's what his numbers are claiming. He builds all motor setups that do 220 to 380, nitrous setups that are 300 to 600, turbo setups that are 400 to 900 wheel horse, and those are wheel horsepower figures. I got PP. Anti-pick. All right, let's see. Cam says, nope, it's just another input. Well, I get that it's another input, but I'm saying, like, if you turn it, I'm saying, like, in K-Pro, you have, like, ethanol content sensor enabled. If you enable it, isn't it going to start, like, doing shit? I mean, essentially, I guess, yeah, I guess maybe you're right. Like, if it sees that there's only 15% ethanol, it's probably, like, not going to do anything because it's such a low ethanol content, I would think. Well, let me look at his table again. I don't know, man. That's Yeah, I think you're right, actually, because on the ethanol percentage fuel compensation table, it's got 6 percentages. It's 0, 10, 35, 60, 85, 100% for ethanol. So if you look at the ethanol percentage for the first two, it's 0% and 10%. Compensation is turned to 0% for those two, and it doesn't go up to a percentage, like a compensation percentage, until it reaches 35% ethanol. If you think about 93 octane pump gas, it has up to, I think it's up to 10% or up to 15% ethanol. But even if it was more than that, it's definitely not going to be more than 35% ethanol. So you're probably right about that. Well, that makes me feel a little better. Good to know. But yeah, fucking man, I want to order my shit now. I'm kind of on the fence. Cam, I don't know if you're still in here or not. When you ordered your E85 hose, where'd you order it from? I think I might just order mine from Summit Racing. Let's see what they say. Summit Racing dash 8 AN E85 hose. Let's see about this. But that's only it's -3. What the fuck? Nobody wants -3. That's some stupid shit right there. Cam says eBay. You bought your hose from eBay, and man, I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna wait for you to tell me that shit's all right, because I don't know if I'm gonna risk hitting up eBay for fucking E85 hose. I don't know, Gina. Dude, I'll tell you one thing. This Summit Racing, like 10 feet of -6 hose, is pretty fucking expensive. $77. Where's Vibrant, dude? If we're gonna spend. Cam says not from a Chinese seller. I'm gonna assume. Okay, here's something funny. I'm gonna assume if a hose is good for E85, it's good for pump gas, it's good for diesel, it's good for anything, right? Like if it's E85 certified hose, it's good for any fuel type, right? Cam says guy from a speed shop's eBay listing. Okay. Where's Vibrant at? I'm just curious to see what Vibrant's charging for their hose. Braided flex hose with PTFE liner. 100 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 PTFE liner. Yeah, see, that's looking a lot more up my alley. A fucking a 10-foot roll of stainless steel braided flex hose with PT FE liner -6 size, $56, and it's vibrant, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, who the fuck is gonna buy Summit Racing when vibrant's cheaper? And it says suitable for all types of commonly used race fuels and oils, also suited for brake, transmission, clutch, power steering, and coolant. So I take it that's the right stuff. Anything that's PT FE lined. I would assume. Can use either as long as E85 rated, rubber or PCFE. Well, it said can be used with commonly used. I can't even talk. Fucking common, all the commonly used types of race gas, race fuel, and oils and coolant and brake fluid and shit. You know, I would assume. Flexible race hoses. I guess that's probably this one. Yeah, the one that says E85. It's a 2-foot roll. Yeah, so a 10-foot roll of E85 hose, -6 size, $66. And a 20-foot roll. Where's the 20-foot roll? -8, $140. It's not as bad as I thought necessarily. Okay, so I need to write it down. I need to change that number. Okay, so the 20-foot roll of -8 is 141. Or just call it 140. And the -6 was 10-foot roll. 10-foot roll -6 is $67. Write those fucking part numbers down. Roll -6, that's 119. 66B. Go to the 20-foot roll -8. That's 11978B. Booyah. Okay, so if I added up everything, Cam says if you're going to get K-Tune fuel pressure regulator, you'll need an adapter for the return to make it -6. No, you won't. No, the K-Tune one. I've already looked this up. Go to K-Tune site. See, they sell it with a fitting kit. Listen to this. Go to the fuel pressure regulator. Go to the one page. It says, what the fuck is it? The fitting. It comes with a fitting kit, right? And the fittings in the picture are a -6 inlet and a -4 outlet plug or whatever the fuck. But it says inlet and outlet ports are -8 AN and -6 AN. You know what I mean? So literally, I mean, you're well, no, all I'm going to need is the, trying to think. Oh, fuck, how would I put it into words? Like they're holes, basically. Like they're having a -6 and a -4 into, so like imagine the hole's a -8. They're putting a -6 male inlet to screw onto your hose. So you're probably right. I probably am going to have to get a -8 and a -6 male. You know what I mean? I would think, yeah. That'd probably be the easy way to do it. But regardless, I have fittings, -8 fittings, and I'm not too worried about the fittings part. Fittings are pretty expensive, but it's more just like, you know, getting all the hardware, really. I almost want to call them up and be like, yo, Playboy, can I just like, instead of you giving me this fitting kit with a -6 and a -4, can you just give me a fucking -8 and a -6? High pressure AN fittings. No, I don't want hose in. I want bitch, don't make me smack you. See, they're talking about hose ends, dude. I don't need hose ends. I need fucking hose separator. Hose end cover. What? It's like everything I don't need. I'm calling these motherfuckers up. I'm gonna ask them. Be like, yo, Playboy, I want to buy your fuel pressure regulator, but you ain't got the right shit on it. Cam says, I'm reusing my -6 fittings, but waiting until install before ordering the -8 fittings. My -8 hose came with fittings, but I want to use black fittings. Well, what color are the fittings they gave you? You know what I'm saying? Calling about K-tuned. Red and blue combo? Yeah, let me get those. Cam, let me get that fuel cage and them fittings. Yeah, I just got disconnected. What the fuck? Shit rang for 2 times and it's just like somebody breathing on the phone hung up on me. What the fuck? Hey, how's it going? I was on your site. I'm looking to upgrade my fuel system, so I was looking to get y'all's fuel pressure regulator. I'm doing, just like kind of a standard -6 feed and a -8 feed, -6 return. So when I'm looking at your fuel pressure regulator, it says the inlet and outlet ports are -8 and -6, which works perfectly. But it says it comes with a fittings kit that's -6 inlet, -4 outlet. Do you guys have like a fitting kit where it'd be -8 and -6? Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are like for the hose ends. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking like I need the male fittings to go. Oh, miscellaneous fittings. Gotcha. Appreciate it. I was curious. You guys like when you like order like a bundle of stuff? Do you guys ever do like discounts? Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, off the top of my head, I was thinking about ordering like most of my fuel stuff from you guys, and then like fittings and stuff like that, and the fuel pressure regulator. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. You too. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Cam says can sell to you cheap. Oh yeah, I see how it is, Cam. Love you too. Bro, come on now. Look that shit up. Cam says you won't need -8 at the regulator. Regulator is in return line from rail. So only need -6. I don't understand. How does that make sense? Okay, so you're saying the feed to the rail, like we're going straight, we're going -8 hose from the pump straight into the rail. Other side of the rail, you're saying is just going to be a -6 to the regulator inlet, then a -6 out the outlet at the bottom back to the tank. So there's going to be 2 -6 fittings and 1 -8 fitting. Is that what you mean? I feel like a scientist, bro. But yeah, what he said about discounts on the phone, he was like, it all depends on item to item, like for bundle deals. But he said for me to put my cart together and then send them an email and they can see what they can do for me. Cam says run -8 to rail, from rail -6 to regulator. Yes, correct. Booyah. Dude, I've been wrapping my head around that whole full flow setup. I still don't understand how the injectors won't get flooded. Like I understand it's regulating like back to the tank, but like how does a regulator stop the feed from being full flow and flooding the cylinders with fucking fuel? I'm never gonna understand this shit ever. Cam says, LOL, it won't. Well, if it does, are you gonna buy me new spark plugs? Dude, see, this guy gave me the wrong information completely. He said they have, he said they have, like, you know, dash 8 and dash 6 fittings in here. But it's a bulkhead fitting. You know what I'm saying? Do I want a bulkhead fitting? I don't think I do. He says, I'll buy you 10 sets of plugs. Shit. Must be pretty confident. Dude, see, that don't make no fucking sense. He said, yeah, we have these on the miscellaneous fitting section. No, you don't. They have A into orb adapter with an O-ring. You know what I need? I just need a fucking male motherfucking dash 6 and dash, or 2 dash 6s. Why they gotta make everything so complicated? You know what I'm saying? They don't have dash 8 fittings. Only dash 6 or dash 8 to dash 6 is the fuel rail end. Well, I get that. I'm saying on the feed, like, let's say we're starting on the my driver side, you know, your passenger side. That's coming into the rail. That's the feed, dash 8 into the rail. It's going across the rail. Then we're going to go dash 6 to dash 6 on the fuel pressure regulator on the inlet. Then the bottom's going to be a dash 6 as well. I get all that. But I'm saying still, I'm still going to need my fucking dash 8 for that one side, you know? You know what I wish? Yeah, biggest line fit. I'm not talking about the line though, bro. I'm talking. Look here. Look. Fuel system, FPR. Look at the FPR. Okay, see the FPR? This is a dash fucking 6 and a dash 4. These are the fittings it comes with, right? So when you take these out, these are female. These are no longer males for your hose to fucking spin onto and tighten, right? So this is a dash 8 and this is a dash 6. So I'm still going to need a dash 8 to a dash 6 and a dash 6 to a dash 6, like female to male. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way to fucking, you know, do it without, you can't have like a female line hose fitting to a female inlet or outlet port fit, like, you know, just hole basically. You know what I'm saying? You still need male fittings on the fuel pressure regulator. So like, regardless of size, I need dash 6 female to male adapters, or male to male. Actually, yeah, that's what I would need. I would literally need dash 6 male to male. Both ends are, you know, male. One to go into female, one to make a male on the outside, so we can spin a female fitting onto the male fitting. Shit is stupid. Standard AN fittings. Yeah, they definitely don't have any. Yeah, there would definitely be a miscellaneous fitting. Miscellaneous. I mean, those I can order from like Summit or something probably. Because they have bulkhead fittings, but bulkhead fittings are going to be too long. Cam says it should come with a dash 6 fitting and the lower dash. Well, I get that, but again, we're not using a dash 4. Like the 1 dash 6, that's right. I'm only going to need to get one. You're right. But that dash 4 fitting has to be changed to a dash 6 if we're doing 2 dash 6 fittings on the inlet and the outlet. You know what I mean? Cam says I do have a couple of the dash 6 fittings spare. Cam says the fuel rail end fitting is the same for the FPR. But I didn't get the, like when I bought my fuel rail, I got the garage sale like scratch and dent one. It didn't come with fittings. All it came with was it literally came with just like fucking block off dash 6 or whatever they are, like caps, block offs basically. They didn't come with fittings. I don't think they did. I'll check the box real quick. I don't think they did though. Yep, definitely didn't come with no hardware. Because it was scratch and dent, baby. And by scratch and dent, they mean pretty much absolutely nothing wrong with it. Man, one thing we got to do super carefully is when wait, yeah, just saying the fittings are the same for both, so the fittings and the FPR will fit the fuel rail side fittings. I don't understand that. Those fittings on the FPR would fit the fuel rail fittings, but it would be downgrading the return one on the bottom to a dash 4. Like, think about it this way: dash 8, dash 6 holes. So then they're kicked down to dash 6 and 4. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to have my to the return side on your driver side, my passenger side of the rail. I wouldn't want to go from a dash 8 to a dash 4. That would put restriction on it. I mean, it might not be much, but still, I'm trying to keep everything, you know, dash 8, dash 6. You know what I mean? If we're gonna do this full flow shit, we're gonna do full flow. You know what I'm saying? Camp says all dash 8 thread. Yeah, go dash. That's what I'm saying. Like we can't use no dash 4 fucking fitting, even if it's -6 to 4 or -8 to 4 or whatever, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? We got to keep this shit -8 feed, -8.6 return. Yeah, I can find those fittings somewhere else. I don't have to have K-tune fittings, honestly. Like here, type in just for fun, fluid delivery fittings. Well, they don't even have. Man, what the fuck? Go to Summit Racing, type in -6 to -6 male. Just type it like that. See what comes up. Look, I just need male to male. Let's see. Cam says not -4, but when you see the size of the hole in the regulator where the fuel exits through, the plunger hole is very small, like -1. So what do you mean? Should I just do conversion fittings? Like, should I just do? Man, that sounds like shit. That sounds like Snag City. Like, so you're basically saying like, okay, let's break it down one more time. -8 feed from the tank going into the rail. So we got -8 to -8 into the rail, right? So then the rail at the other end, we're doing -6, and then we're going to go to the inlet, which is a -6. Then the bottom one's a -4. So we're going to do a -4 fitting, but then put a -6 adapter on it basically, and then return that to the tank. Is that what we're saying? Alrighty. Dude, fuck adapters, man. Shit is stupid. Good God, man. What a headache. Dude, this shit is a nightmare. Yep. All right, cool. We're on the same page. Because you're basically saying the hole is so small anyway. It doesn't even matter. I get it. All these adapters, that makes me like worried about leaks. But I guess AN fittings, Army Navy fittings, they're known not to leak, so fuck it, right? If it blows up, it blows up. Shit, what was I about to say though? Okay, so this fuel pressure regulator thing, the reason I'm not understanding it. So like full flow fuel, 320 pump, whatever the fuck you got, a high volume pump. That's fuel is getting pumped out of that through the feed line into the rail, gushing fuel, full pressure. Explain to me how it's not going to flood the cylinders. You know what I mean? Like I can't wrap my brain around it. It just doesn't make sense. Like, is the fuel pressure getting regulated basically because the return? Okay, I think maybe I'm understanding it, but I still don't understand. Like, think about it this way. The return to the tank, the fuel coming back to the tank is being regulated. So does that mean the fuel tank to a degree is not getting filled back up as quickly, so it's not the full flow is not full pressure, basically. Is that like what's happening? That kind of. Cam says because the fuel pressure regulator regulates the pressure on the inlet side. Well, I get that. I get that the you know, it's on the inlet side, but I'm saying if we're going from the pump straight to the rail, that's full flow into the rail. Do you know what I mean? So like it seems like the fuel pressure regulating is happening to the return side of things, like going back to the tank. That's like when you said a deadhead setup, it's when you showed me that picture of the deadhead setup, that made complete sense to me. I was like, oh, it's the regulators right before the fuel rail, so it's regulating the pressure before it goes into the fuel rail, which makes complete sense to me. But the full flow setup, I still can't get my head around it. Stop overthinking it. Yeah, well, good luck with that. Okay, so K-Mod, when I said to him, I just said, you know, try tuning. Yeah, we're doing that. He said, yes, sir, that's correct. And I said, so before I come get tuned and I do my fuel setup and I put the ethanol content sensor in my return line to the tank, and do I just leave it unenabled in K-Pro in my base map, or do I need to enable it or something? He says, it's best to have it wired in and functional before getting it tuned. I'm assuming your tuner will charge you additional labor for the time required to install it. Yeah, that's a good question. Because I don't know if the guy I go to, I don't know if he will do installing it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's like gonna do that for me or not, which is kind of a crisis. It's like I'll install it, but I gotta be able to drive the fucking car to the tuner. Cam says drivability won't be an issue at all as the current tune is pump gas. Right, exactly. But what I'm saying is if I enable the ethanol content sensor, you know what I mean? I feel like that would fuck with something. So what I would do is just put the E85 content sensor in my return line, like all the plumbing basically is taken care of, and put the wiring. You got 3 wires. You got your ground to the chassis. You got your power wire, wherever you're going to get that from. And then you got your white wire to go to the analog input or ethanol content sensor, little spade connector in the back of the K-Pro, and do all the wiring and plumbing basically, and then go drive to the tuner without having ethanol content sensor enabled, so it's not doing anything weird. You know, then go to the tuner and tell him, you know, what I need done, and then he turns everything on and fucks with everything basically, you know. Cam says, no, I won't fuck with anything at all. Tuners prefer if everything is already. Well, I'm saying it would be ready to go. I'm saying just not turn on. Like, it's one checkbox. Like, you think he's going to care about one checkbox not being checked? I would literally just tell him, be like, hey, I have an E85 flex fuel sensor in my return line, and, you know, yada, yada. It's all plumbed. It's all wired in. All you got to do is turn some buttons on and shit. Like, that's a cakewalk. Like, you know. Okay, I just said to him, I said, I mean, I was thinking I would just install the ethanol content sensor in my return line, then just leave it unenabled in K-Pro, but wire it into the analog input in the back of K-Pro, then let him do the fine details. Is that doable? He said yes. Cam says he can enable it if it were issue. That's not an issue at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to get everything plumbed, wired in, all the hardware, wiring, and, you know, putting the hoses together and the fuel setup together, get all that shit ready to roll, and then, you know, be good to go. I'm asking this guy. He lives in, his shop's based out of High Point, North Carolina. I'm gonna ask him if he knows any really good dyno tuning shops that he would recommend. I live in Virginia, obviously, so it's not that far, but see who he recommends. If he says Matt Shoe, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be like, yeah, I can't get that guy on the fucking phone. I've sent him emails and he's a punk bitch. I want to start ordering this shit. Let's get it out of the way, but I feel like just like stockpiling money, so I have more than enough money just to get everything, like the cage, the E85 content sensor, because as of right now, those two items I'm not going to be getting, because cage is $450, ethanol content sensor fucking $300. So that right there is my whole budget. And for the time being, I can do without those two things because I don't necessarily need the cage. That's just like a baller fucking extra cherry on top of the sundae. And the E85 content sensor, I don't need that to do my return style fuel system. That's just strictly kind of like a dream setup, you know? Because first things first is get tuned on pump gas. That's going to be the shit. Yeah. Hey, I found dash 6 to dash 6. Dishworks male flare adapter to dash 6. $7. All right, so there's one. I'm gonna take a fucking picture of that shit. Smoke. Cam says my tuner was saying I may need to go bigger injectors. Dude, you have 1350 cc's. Isn't that what you're running? Dude, if 1350s aren't big enough for you, I'll buy those 1350s from you in case I ever go ITBs or turbo. How is that not going to be enough for you? That would be enough for me if I'm running 12 or less pounds of boost. If I was going to do a turbo setup, 1350s would be perfect. I don't understand that. Do tell. I'm eager to know. Be right back. Anti-big. Cam says he said the 1350s may max out. What? I mean, it ain't like you're running no 20 pounds of boost or nothing. That's crazy. 1350s may max out. I don't get that. Is there any way you could run more boost? Do you have to get a bigger pulley or something? Because with a supercharger, the only way to increase boost is to get bigger pulley kit, right? It's not like turbo with, like, you know, a boost controller. God damn it. Fuck. Oh, you get a smaller pulley? Oh, because it weighs less. Oh. So it works backwards. Gotcha. You just get like a 2-inch pulley, 1-inch pulley, no pulley. Okay, so we found the -6. That works. And we have then we have a -8 to -6. Hey, I found the exact fittings I need. Dish Works coming through. And dude, their AN fittings, not that bad. The fucking -6 to -6 is $7, and the -8 to -6 is fucking $9. It's not that bad. Not that bad. Cam says you can actually run an electronic boost regulator on supercharged boost control. It's just a simple air bleed. Yeah, it's like a Mac valve or whatever. I get all that, but that's like they are their own brand of fitting. Yeah, Dish Works, yeah. They look like nice fittings too. They're like polished, which I personally like better than like black fittings. I don't know. It's a lot easier to hide damage on a polished fitting than a black fitting, because if you fucking crank a fucking black fitting so many times, it starts rubbing off the powder coating. I mean, I think black fittings look good. It's just in terms of like durability, they're not going to look good as a standard polished fitting when you're cranking them down and like having to undo them a bunch and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think where I'm going to put the fuel pressure regulator. I'm thinking I'm going to put it on my passenger side, your driver side. I think that's going to be the best place for it, probably. Because if you think about it, you want it on the return side. It's going to need to be on the return side. So when you're standing at the front of the car, it'll be on the left, somewhere in there. I'll probably be able to mount it somewhere. Cam says you could tell cheap from good fittings. Good fittings are anodized. Cheap fittings are painted. Well, even with anodized black or blue, after you crank them so many times, it starts to wear away the anodized coating. You know what I mean? So in that sense, I like to get, like for the K-Tune fuel pressure regulator, these Dish Works fittings, I'm just going to go with the polished or, raw fucking, whatchamacallit, you know what I mean? Not painted at all. No color to them, really. Yeah, that's the -8 to -6. $9, not too bad. Not too bad. What are you getting into, Cam, at 12:40 p.m. here? Probably 2 in the morning for you. Cam says that's why you use the correct wrenches for the fittings. But still, even with an AN wrench, like with my catch can, they still get a little marked up. You know what I mean? There's still friction. You think there wouldn't be, but there is. And just wear and tear from, stuff. If you're taking other stuff apart and shit like that, like it's hard to keep a car undamaged, like turning shit and doing all that. It's a fucking artwork to not fuck a car up. Cam says, was doing my challenges when I saw you were on. Cam, what are you doing with yourself? Fuck those challenges. God damn it. Painter's tape? Yeah. Well, not everyone's got a roll of painter's tape, just like chilling on them, on their person at all times. Cam says, I'm concerned about marking up my spoon lug nuts. Dude, you and me both, man. I don't even own spoon lug nuts. I don't care about the lug nuts. I mean, I would if I had spoon ones. When I take my fucking Type R wheels off when we're working on it, I fucking cringe inside. Like, let's say I'm taking off one side and I'm doing it like super cautiously, not trying to like let the impact gun hit the walls of the wheel where the lug nuts are inside. Then I'll go over and I'll look at like my dad or like Jerry, and they're like, "Vroom, vroom, vroom," and I'm looking at like the inside of my fucking Type R wheels are all fucking fucked up. I'm like, dude, could you be a little more careful? And they're like, "Oh, fuck all that. They're just wheels." I'm like, I'm glad I don't have CE 28Ns, because you put that kind of mark on a fucking pair of $3,000 wheels, I pretty much want to fight you. Holy shit, Batman. But yeah, you're right about that. If I had a really nice pair of wheels and lug nuts, I'd be putting painter's tape on that shit all the time. I'd fucking put painter's tape on them while I'm driving. Cam says slim sockets with a nylon protector. Yeah, I guess that would be. I'm curious to see. 19mm lug nut socket. Slim socket. That looks like a really cool socket. Dude, that socket is the shit. 19mm thin wall wheel lug socket. It says 1/2-inch drive 19mm socket featuring a protective plastic sleeve to I can't even tell it, prevent damage to your wheels finish. Dude, I want that right now. I'm gonna carry that with me every time I'm working on my car and be like, yeah, don't use your socket. We're using my socket. Dude, that's the shit right there. I didn't even know that shit existed. That is badass. Cam says, yep, I got a set of them. You and your Snap-on tools. The rape van. That's the new name for the Snap-on tool truck. It's the rape van. I was already debating. Get this. I was already debating when the upholstery shop thing, like if I pass my test, I was thinking about investing in a set of Snap-on tools, which is probably a bad idea. Probably should just make do with like cheap ass tools. But I was debating. I was like, well, if I start working here, I'm gonna, need tools of my own, et cetera, et cetera. So, we have a Snap-on guy, and he does a credit check. If your credit's good enough, you can get a whole fucking Snap-on box and fill that bitch up with tools and pay like, I think it's like $50 or $100 a week, which really isn't that bad. I think it's $50 a week. So that's $200 a month. And yeah, you'd probably be paying that off for the rest of your life. But yeah, that'd be quite the investment, because it would be an investment not just for me, like if I worked at the upholstery shop, but like for fucking working on my own car and having every tool we need. But to a degree, that would be mad excessive, and that would eat up like all my money, like $200 a week off of my $600 or $500 a week. I'd be like paying for tools and taking $350, $400 home. So I mean, it wouldn't be that bad, but it would at the same time. So to a degree, I'd rather buy cheap tools, just what I need. Cam says Snap-on has good little service starter kits. Well, like most of the shit you need, you honestly just need pretty basic shit. You need, your standard screwdrivers of different sizes, Phillips head, flathead. You need pry tools like plastic upholstery panel removal kit tools, with different pries that are plastic so you don't fuck anything up. You need a lot of picks. Yeah, a lot of picks. And basically Allen keys and Torx. And that's about it, honestly. And extensions and, shit like that. And maybe like, an air hammer and a Sawzall. Just come to work with a Sawzall. Be like, let's get this shit done. They'd be like, socket sets, 1/4 inch, 3/8, yeah, metric. Gas axe, exactly. Slide hammer. Fucking plasma cutter. But yeah, fucking, man, I think I'm gonna start ordering shit today. I think today's the day. Chop shop saw. But yeah, I think between K-Tune, Vibrant, and Summit today, I think I'm gonna just throw down and order a bunch of shit. Get it done. It's time to get it done, y'all. But I guess we'll wrap up shop. 3-hour stream, 3 people, sick. Anyways, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good day, morning, evening, whatever you're doing. And I'm out.